We're driving the Haines Highway from Haines, Alaska to Haines Junction, Yukon.
There's definitely bears in that area.
We spotted a glacier hike.
That's how dangerous this road was.
Last night we slept in our SUV camper at a pullout along the Haines Highway just south of Haines. Now we're ready to hit the road. Looks like we might be here a while, so let's make the most of it. Wow, that was a long wait. That is some big equipment.
Big equipment. Yeah, gravel.
I don't think I've ever been through a construction zone quite like that before. And we're back on the regularly paved Haines Highway. Oh, there's a bear. The Haines Highway seems to have these almost dry riverbeds surrounded by snow-capped mountains everywhere. We just saw this dirt road, so we're going to see where it takes us. Wow! Just taking a chance on a dirt road we saw coming off the highway, and this is where we end up. Being up here in Yukon is so different from life back in Vancouver. In Vancouver, everything is so well marked, all the trails are so well documented. Up here, you just need to pull off a road and see what you find. I can't believe we're here. Wow. Just wow. Chris and I were just chatting and trying to figure out why we don't see any trees around here and why it's all low-growth shrubs. And we thought maybe it was a logging effort or a forest fire, but it turns out we're actually in the alpine tundra.
In 63 and 74 along this highway, there were checkpoints set up by the RCMP, and every driver that would come along the road would stop in at the checkpoint, and then the RCMP would radio ahead to the next checkpoint, and if the driver didn't make it there within a reasonable amount of time, they'd send out a search party. That's how dangerous this road was back then.
Even today, the Haines Highway is really remote. There are no services between Haines and Haines Junction for 185 kilometers, and we've barely seen any traffic at all along this route.
So basically, there's just glaciers just over the hills here. We can't see them. And there's like really dangerous areas up here where they don't want you to just walk randomly because there's dangerous crevasses and ice falls and stuff like that.
Tonight, we're staying at the $1 Million Falls campground on the Haines Highway in Yukon. Our kitchen is always ready to go, and we've set up our tiny camper and living room mode.
The Yukon government campsites come with free logs for firewood, but they're a lot of work to chop with this little hatchet. The weather was terrible yesterday when we drove through here, and the clouds were really low and it was rainy and cold. So this morning it's sunny, it's a little bit warmer, so we're doubling back and we're going to try and get a nice view of the mountains.
We're just going to make some roadside coffee first. What a difference a day makes for views of the mountains. We haven't done a lot of hiking on this trip, but when we drove in front of this trail and we saw it was only about 8 kilometers through a subalpine terrain, we just had to stop the car, put on our hiking clothes, and do it.
Let's go.
Oh, that was a good hike. It was a good distance, good elevation change, beautiful views, and great weather. I am so glad we stopped in the Kluane National Park.
When we were coming back down the trail, we saw some bear poop that we didn't see on the way out, and it was really fresh. So we were a little worried. We got really loud at that point. We didn't take a picture of it. We just booted our way out, and we didn't see any bears, but there's definitely bears in that area.
We just finished one hike and we were driving along the highway for just a few minutes and we spotted a glacier hike. So it's only about 3 kilometers, but it should take us to the toe of a great glacier, so we're gonna go check it out. It turns out that the Rock Glacier hike doesn't take you to a current glacier, but where a glacier used to be. It's pretty cool, and I'm loving walking over this terrain. And there's Haines Junction on the foot of those mountains with views of the glacier. That was an amazing 2 days of driving and hiking along the Haines Highway. We found a free spot to camp in our SUV tiny camper along the river tonight, and tomorrow we start another leg of our road trip.